Yeah, Alternative Brown. This is Camilla White. I want to welcome a very special guest, Joseph Malik, on the same record label as myself, Ramrock Records, because we rock. That's what we do. He got his boy over there on the side. I don't know if he's going to stick his head in, Mr.
Hello,
Chris.
Chris.
Yes.
Mr.
The
Chris Green, the
fabulous
arranger of Diverse Free.
Oh man, he got some dope stuff, people. Dope stuff. And this is a special Alternative Brown, not just because we're Ramrock brethren, but my brother is in the UK and Scotland. Let's tell the people a little bit about where you're from.
Well, I was born in Glasgow. My father's from Nigeria, but I moved to Edinburgh in 1990 because Edinburgh's a much more peaceful city. I found Glasgow was a very violent city. And everything just seemed to happen for me here. I had kids, I set foundations, we set up the first Scottish black record label and started up some really big clubs here back in the 90s, and was very lucky to have a couple of really big record deals with like Wax Records, James Lavelle, the Steady emcees label Response Records. And then I joined Compost Records with Rainer Truby, Jazzanova, all those guys over in Germany. And then I took some time out and I got this crazy phone call one night when I was feeling really low, and it was Joe Wallace and Ashley Beadle, and they gave us a record deal.
Wow. Aren't those guys great? Ashley and Joe.
I've adopted them and they've adopted me.
Awesome. So you've been, you sound like a vet, man. Like you've really been plugged in. You know what you're doing, a lot of experience. So how's this time around different from all those other times? Like, I don't know what you sounded like then, but what you sound like now, like you speak from the heart, you ready to go.
I've learned a lot over the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used all that knowledge that I've learned in music, how to do it better, how to do it faster. Have 2 studios, not one, going at the same time. Replacing the samples with musicians. Learn how to do that, but no man is an island. You need a team.
Right.
So I have Mr. Chris Grieve, who's pivotal to the writing creation point of what we do, and arrangements, which makes the songs richer. And I have David Donnelly, a.k.a. Demas, who was the engineer on this record. So you got like this hive mind of ideas to throw things about. But everything that I've learned, and having mentors like Ashley, having mentors like Femi Fem and Marco Nelson from the Young Disciples, having those guys around my life just gave me a lot of knowledge. And I really... It's like Diverse is like in 3 chapters. The first chapter was in 2005. The second chapter was 2 years ago. And now this is the last chapter of it. And I wanted to just use everything, all my knowledge. And I'm 49 now. I'm 50 in January. I wanted to use every molecule of knowledge and use it for this record.
Awesome. I feel you on that. So can you describe for the people your sound? Like, we're going to hear something from you guys in a second, but because when I hear you, I'm thinking funk, I'm thinking soul, man. If they could, I would never believe you were from Scotland. You just like sound like my brother or somebody. I'm like, oh dude, honestly, I was like really pleasantly surprised when I really start listening to your voice in this, because it sounds like that American soul, and I'm like, he's from Scotland? So how would you describe, your sound?
Well, first off, the way I talk is completely different from my singing voice. When I have my singing voice, sometimes it's like I'm a different person. But I grew up obviously with Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Donny Hathaway, Al Green, these Gil Scott-Heron. These people were pivotal in my life, in my childhood. I wouldn't necessarily say I have a style. And as far as sound, every song has a different jacket to wear. It's like one tune can be jazz, the other tune can be funk, the other tune can be soul, but the other tune could be reggae, it could be punk, could be techno, could be house. I think it's the individuality and the character of the track and the song that defines what the sound will be.
Yes, yes. So you're open to be versatile. Whatever hits you is what hits you.
Yeah. Or the
Absolutely.
character of the song, you know. I like stories. I like the song to tell a story and have a beginning, middle, and end.
I think that's a perfect connection, just to, let the music take you wherever it takes you, and you don't pigeonhole yourself, to that box. And it's like every time you see me, I gotta sound like, this or that. I love, and then it gives you an opportunity to grow as an artist. People, we evolve, we change. And, a lot of times people that listen, they want you to stay here, but I think a good artist really evolves and is not scared to open up and let the people see, the gift God gave you, you're supposed to share it, right?
Yeah, I'm quite methodical, and I listen. If I'm working on one track, I'll listen to it 50 times in one night. And I'll pick it apart. But I think I'm not just making it for me; I'm making it for the audience, and I want to excite the audience. I want to trick them into thinking that's not what's going to happen in the second verse. What happens in the second verse, the whole track could completely change. It could change, go left or go right or change key. I just like these little kind of little tricks that you can play with the audience and excite them. Give them something exciting instead of the music going along like that the whole way. Trick them out.
I can tell just by the way you answered that question that you love to perform live.
Yes, if you've got the right band, and we've built up a really strong band now, but we can't play. We're playing in the UK due to COVID, and so it's been really tough for a lot of musicians in the community right now.
Okay,
and we're really hurting. We're losing money.
Yeah,
we're all broke, but I tend to not focus on that, and I focus on getting this record out and getting national radio play, which we're very lucky to be getting.
Man, with the sound you have, man, the people are going to, I think, be very receptive to what you're putting out. And you got me, my mouth watering over here, man. Can we hear some music? What you got lined up for us, Chris?
Yeah. So we're going to play "Looking Right Back at You" Part 2.
Okay.
Which features your good self.
All right, I'm honored, man. Thank you so much.
So if we're lined up, we're going to play "Looking Right Back at You" Part 2, featuring Camilla Wahid, Nicole Smith, who we have just signed. She's a local singer from Edinburgh, and we've just signed her to Ramrock. And also my personal community hero, Miss Cynthia Gentle, who's on the intro and singing in the track with me and Nicole, and she does the outro, and she runs the Afro-Caribbean Society of Edinburgh, and she was the one who led the community to the big protest on June the 7th, where 7,000 people stood up and said no more to racism after George Floyd's death. And she's my hero.
Wow. Sounds like a wonderful person. It takes a lot of courage to really fight this good fight, So I really bow down to that.
And I got all three of these amazing sisters all on the same track. So here's the song.
An artist's duty is to reflect the times. But we choose to think you cannot help but to be involved. We cannot help but speak out. We must not be silent. Silence is betrayal. We must not be silent.
Looking right back at you.
But I'm looking
right back at you.
I'm looking right back at you. Looking in the mirror, looking right back at you. Where you gonna run? Oh, taking too long with you. But I'm looking looking right back at you. Looking in the mirror, looking right back at you. Where you gonna draw the line? Or maybe I'll ask a question. Looking right back at you.
Judging my exterior, your book says I'm inferior. Reflecting my interior, no more or less superior. Judge me by my character, from Jersey learn to Syria. Watch until we bury all your thoughts of global terror. So make a right around, we gather up, the more the merrier. I swear to ya, challenge all your acts, culture scavenger. Silence not escape, it's just a damager. Cause ain't no way to run the revolution. Look back at ya.
Looking right back at you.
Looking in the mirror, looking right back at you. Where you gonna run? Or take it too long to choose? But I'm looking, looking right back at you.
Villains on no better, they been vetted, we been shredded. Most don't get it, some just wicked, others spin it. Hated in it by your gimmicks. So they ripping, y'all be looking like they tripping. Nah, they stand for better quality of living. This making pieces upon the crumbs that we've been given. This is economics, the base for the hate is really driven. It's perfect time for love and a gathering of wisdom. Paradigm to shift and self-destruct, we all be lifting.
Looking right back at you. Looking right back at you.
But I'm looking,
Looking right back at you.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Black lives matter.
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 No justice, no peace!
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace!
No justice, no peace.
Yeah. That ending was powerful, man.
Yeah, it gets my heartstrings every time. Those strings at the end are so
Yeah.
powerful. And
Yeah.
on that day, that crowd, that was 7,000 people in
Wow.
Edinburgh, all
Yeah.
chanting that. And I grabbed all the recordings and went through them all that night, shaped up the lyrics, got in touch with you, said I had this great idea. And we really captured emotion that day. I truly
Yeah.
believe that with all my heart. And there's been a feature done on this for Black History in Edinburgh by the Afro-Caribbean Society. And I'm giving my own personal proceeds of this song
Nice.
to their movement for children's black education, to help
Nice.
young black boys and for them to get mentorship. And I'm personally going to help them and mentor them myself with some
Amen.
other city leaders, but also a African education program of teaching young black kids where they're actually from and teach them their own language and to not be ashamed of their identity and to be never ashamed that they are black.
Yes, yes. That's praises right there. I mean, we definitely need that. It's surprising, especially here in America, like we don't have any clue to where we're actually from. So plugging back in, I think, is going to do a lot for the advancement of the community. When you plug back into your roots, you're going to grow. As long as you're watering, you're shedding the light, it's going to grow. So that's awesome, man. That's pretty dope.
Thank
Wow.
you.
So you're a busy man, huh?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we've done 3 albums in 3 years. That was an incredible journey with the whole team, because there is a team of us. But I would say I don't like to rest too much. I am enjoying this rest after the 3 albums, but I see what's going on in my community and I feel that I have to. I feel it's my duty. I have to help. I have to do something. I mean, I actually sometimes have to get phone calls to protect families, you know, and I would stand in front of a racist to take that punch that they don't get punched You know, I want to make sure the kids in my community are safe.
Right.
So it's not just about talk, it's about action. Actions speak louder than words in the song. You have to
Right.
do what you can to help. I genuinely love this city. I genuinely love the people, black, white, any race in this city who get on with each other. But I have to really send my attention and focus to the black African community and the black Afro-Caribbean community. I really have to help them. I'm duty bound, you could say.
It was a line in there that said, if you're an artist, how could you not talk about what's going on in your community and in the world? And that was the first time I heard that line. When I heard it, when you sent it to me, I was like, okay, let me go to work. It's very true. Very true. I think that's part of your mission, you know?
Yeah, I wanted to make it really spiritual, kind of like I grew up, obviously, big, huge Tribe Called Quest fan. And
My favorite.
yeah, I mean, me too. Like the whole Native Tongue
Yes.
family, like Baby Bam and the Jungle Brothers, Mike G and all that. I actually got Joe Wallace phoned me one day and she said, Joe, someone wants to speak to you, and it was Baby Bam from the Jungle Brothers on the phone.
Yes.
I'm one of your biggest fans, and he said, young man, I'm a fan of you. So,
Yes.
and De La Soul as well. So I wanted that kind of emotion. But then I wanted a bit of Stevie Wonder, Jesus Children of America, that kind of emotion.
Okay.
You know, because I was in tears when I went home after that protest that day. I was in tears when I seen George Floyd, like when it happened. And I wanted to capture all that emotion and spirit and anger. But it's like being angry, but at the same time, there's a gentleness about it. And there's some compassion and humanity about it.
Yeah, you preaching right now. You're giving me Brother Malcolm X right now.
Well, you know, I would say that if you got two sides to the coin, I would say that track there was more Martin Luther King, but I would say Battlecry, that is the right hook of justice. That is the Malcolm X. What was your thoughts when you first heard Antoine, Mr. Capital A?
Ah, man, I'm like, when you said West Coast, right? I'm like, yes, and I love the West Coast. So I was digging this tone. I like their approach too, just kind of laid back, but you know, really still kicking some aggressive facts. You know what I mean? So I was feeling that. That was good.
What was it? What was your emotions like when you first heard the rough mixes, when we had like him and then you and then he's at the end and then the horns and the drama of it all? It was really powerful.
Yeah, really the instrumentation really did it for me. I mean, just like you said, the horns. I love music. You know, like sampling is cool, and you know that's rap, hip hop. A lot of times that's what we do. But when you take it to that next level, and you got the instrument, them live bands, and you know, it's not just you putting in; it's a team putting, you know, in that juice. That did it for me. Like I love that.
I had to fight really hard to keep that little girl at the very, very start, the girl who's shouting at the very start of the track.
Oh, yeah.
There was a bit of contention about that being on there, but I really wanted that anger. I wanted her anger. And the balance of, see, that thing where, as they talk about with Q-Tip and Five Dog, the balance of their vocals are very different.
Yeah.
And that's what in my mind at night when I was writing, it was like your voice and Capital A's voice.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. So you, how do you create? Like, what's your process?
I get crazy visions, and I'm not getting all biblical here, but I get visions, or I'll be watching something on YouTube. I don't watch television, normal television. I tend not to read papers. It's all full of lies. So I'll be checking something on YouTube and I'll hear a sample, or I'll hear something in the documentary and I'll hear a sample, and then we'll sample it. But now we're at a stage where we're so set up where we can replace any loop because of the talent of the band that we have and the amazing musicians like Chris and Stevie Christie, David Donnelly, people like Colin Steele and Andrew Burnett, and I'd say Paolo Riddle as well, and Daniel Walls. We've got such a great team that we can replicate just about anything.
Nice.
So one day we could be a Fela Kuti band, and the next day we could be a New Orleans funk band.
Okay. Nice. I mean, that's a blessing to, you know, to have at your fingertips, and just that it sounds like a good group of people bringing those energies together. I know what can be created. So that's awesome. Do you guys ever like sit as a whole group and write together?
It always starts with me. I'm the seed, but then you plant seeds and you grow apples, and the seed can grow for a certain amount. The roots can come up, but then I need Chris to then take the track to make it sound. He brings a lot of character with the horns. You know, like on Battlecry, and many of the horns are on every track. And then we have Mr. Stephen Christie, who plays all the keys, and he brings a lot of character. So as I said, no man is an island. You know, it's a team, but we have jams, but mainly all the writing. I mean, I write all the time.
Right.
So
Okay.
I mean, Chris gets sick of me sending him stuff at like
All
3
right.
a.m.
Okay.
and GM.
Speaking of like uniqueness in music and presentation, man, it's a new show on HBO called Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, Jordan.
Have you
Peele,
seen it yet?
I've seen some of it. I'm kind of saving it all up to watch it to binge watch the whole thing.
Oh,
But it looks stunning, and
it
the writing is amazing, and the way I love the way he works, and I love the black cast in it, and how he touches on little genres from the past.
Yes, man. You
Yeah,
hear
definitely.
some Gil Scott, you hear some rap, you'll hear some just, and I like how they have the modern music with the backdrop of, you know, the civil rights movement in that era.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm just looking up these are young black women that's just really smashing it. They tell the story. I don't know how far you are, but of Emmett Till, and it gave me facts that I didn't even know about, and it's like, whoa, you know. So it's definitely you know, a discussion piece. So when you finish the season, when it's over, it's like 2 more episodes left. Let's talk.
Well, definitely don't spoil it for me. I personally think Jordan Peele should direct the Blade movie. Mahershala Ali. I think it'd be the perfect fit for it.
Yes, that would be crazy. Do you have anything else lined up?
Yes.
Want to hear something else.
So before we play this, we must also mention that these are now world exclusives, and also these are the mastered final versions that we got back from London.
Okay.
So this is Battlecry featuring Camilla Wahid, Mr. Chris Grieve, Stephen Christie, David Donnelly, and Capital A, our main man from Los Angeles.
Hey.
What you do it black.
Come one, come all, to the latest civilization about to fall. Yeah. It's really all a scam when you peel back the layers. It's corporate elite, shady government players. What we are living in is just a pyramid scheme, comprised of hustlers, scramblers, stock market gamblers, corporate conglomerates. Every time their drama gets deep, we're the ones who sow what they reap. So I'm thinking we should organize and become an enterprise. Demand some policy change, cause how we live is the rate. It's any means necessary, anyway, anyhow. We can either do this peaceful or go pow. Laugh now or cry later. It's the return of the Alpha and Omega. Laugh now or cry later. We will see whose revolution's more greater.
Yeah.
go back.
Most is fuss is psychological, layered, yes, astronomical, falling, yes, like a domino, stop crying like long time ago. Throwback Thursday, so comedic, so prolific, a bit prophetic. Don't you go and get upset at truth and shit, we all connected. He deserved to be beheaded. Karen, girl, you so pathetic. Get back diamonds, paper oil, colonizers, you been spoiled. Lying to the girls and boys, guess we never had a choice. He ain't never shared his toys, that's why he's so goddamn paranoid.
Laugh now or cry later. It's the return of the Alpha and Omega. Laugh now or cry later. We will see whose revolution's more greater. Laugh now or cry later. It's the return of the Alpha and Omega. Laugh now or cry later. We will see whose revolution's more greater.
Black, 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 black. Go back. Black, 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 black. Go back, go back, go back.
Laugh now or cry later. It's the return of the Alpha and Omega.
Would you do it? Black, 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 black.
Laugh now or cry later. We will see whose revolution's more greater.
Go back. Go back. Go back.
Now is the time not to run, my brother. Now is the time not to run, my sister. Run for your freedom, run for your freedom, run. Run for your freedom, run for your freedom, run.
Yeah.
That was a surprise ending. I didn't hear that. I like it.
Yeah. Well, I have to also give special dedications and respects to the hip hop DJ, Mr. Nasty P. He's the best hip hop DJ in Edinburgh for me personally, and he was on the cuts on that track, and he destroyed it for me. And to have all of yous in that anger, you know, that's a Malcolm track for me.
Yeah, that's definitely hip hop.
I just wanted to get aggression into that character of the song.
So tell us, Mr. Joseph Malik, where can people find you on social media? How can they hear your music?
Well, I would rather they went to Bandcamp, to Ramrock Records, rather than Spotify, for obvious reasons. And I'm also, you can contact me on Facebook, and you can also check me out on YouTube.
Right, all right. So I can't wait for some video action on some of those songs, man. I could just visualize, you know, what can happen.
You know how the track Battlecry also came about was because of Mr. Mark Mack from For Hero, and he was working with Antoine on a track, and Antoine contacted me saying, "Hey, you want to jump on this track with me?" So me and Chris ended up jumping on that track, and then because I'd never really spoken to Mark, but I'd kind of heard his music for many years. I'm a huge fan of For Hero, and so I let him hear Battlecry, and the first thing he said to me was, "Brother, you have to get a video done of that." I says, "But how am I going to do it?" And he goes, "Get someone in the same city as Camilla to film her doing a verse, and then get Antoine to be filmed in Los Angeles to do his verses.
Yes.
And then get that and then send it over, and you can just get someone to cut it up." So that's the plan.
Okay. I like it a lot. Awesome. So we can find you online. When we get back, you know, to normal, if there's ever a sense of normalcy again, we'll be out there slashing the shows. Anything else you want to, I got one more question for you, but is anything else you want to share with, you know, good folks over here in the USA? And
just be kind to each other and look out for each other. I think everything that's been accumulating this year, the year that changed everything that's happened is only just getting to the end, the big finale, I believe. And it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
So look out for each other and care about each other and have some compassion.
Yeah. Yeah. Unimaginable stuff going on, man. But
what's the last question you're going to ask me?
Past or present, who's your favorite female MC?
Oh, you put me on the spot. I would say present, and it's Camilla Wahid.
Oh, honored, man. So, if you like Tribe Called Quest, I know you got an old female MC that you. That's my signature question after every interview. Favorite female rappers.
Well, I would have. Yeah,
Chris, get in on this, Chris.
Okay, so I will answer. Okay, so I go back to the past then.
Okay.
I would say Roxanne Shante, the real Roxanne. Yeah.
Wait, the real Roxanne, not Roxanne Shante.
Roxanne.
Roxanne. Okay, because you know that after Roxanne
yeah, they
came
had
out,
that battle.
Real Roxanne. I'm like, no, but yeah, that was my favorite MC growing up. Her and MC Light as well.
Yeah, but Roxanne was first.
Yeah. It
I
was.
bought that record when it came out.
Oh yeah. Have a nice day, Gone Girl. I got about 4 or 5 a record.
Well, I was into breakdancing in 1981, and my big cousin would take me to a place called the Plaza, and we'd all be b-boys and battling each other. And when that track dropped, damn.
That was it. Oh man, you're a good artist, a good person, man. I wish you all the blessings in the world, and that's from my heart. You know, you stand for the people. Your music speaks for itself, and I can't wait to see where this thing goes. You know, so I want to thank you for giving Alternative Brown your time, Chris. You too, and
lovely to see you.
Thank you. So
thank you, my sister. And yeah, this is only the beginning of our friendship and family, because Ramrock, there's something special about this label.
Yeah.
And this is only the beginning. And just think, there's you, and there's Nicole, and Lindsay Dre, another young singer from Edinburgh, who's also signed. And that's an amazing family.
Yeah.
Out of Edinburgh, the amount of investment that Ramrock have put into the Edinburgh music scene.
Yeah.
And then getting to meet you. I think we're going to make a lot of music together in the future.
I hear that. Looking forward to it. All right, gentlemen. Peace and blessings. Alternative Brown.
Peace, sister.